Mute City's serial gaps, the final frontier of the Sapphire Cup in F-Zero GX, emerges as a daunting challenge in the vibrant, floating cityscape of Mute City. Its multitude of floating platforms and suspiciously placed jump pads provide a canvas for skilled players to execute daring jumps, defying the game developers' expectations. Mines add a risky speed boost element at the cost of health, making serial gaps notorious among players. Despite its difficulty, the track's brevity invites insane tricks and showcases high-skill gameplay, earning it a special place in the hearts of many players. Today, we will delve into the global community of players who battled for supremacy on this notorious track. The game's design, boasting a high skill ceiling, advanced techniques, and ample room for player expression, contributed to its enduring legacy. Additionally, the influence of F-Zero X on the Nintendo 64, with its dedicated fan base and competitive leaderboards, played a pivotal role in shaping the competitive landscape of GX. GX offers three main playstyles: max speed, snaking, and space flying. This exploration focuses exclusively on the max speed playstyle, considered the most vanilla approach as it disallows snaking or space flying at 100% max speed settings. Without further ado, let's begin our journey. Welcome to F-Zero GX Time Attack History, the history of max speed world records on Mute City serial gaps. In the gaming annals, Japanese player Fly etched the inaugural record for Mute City serial gaps in late 2003, clocking a 1-minute 25-second time with the hyperspeeder. Uploaded to the renowned Sugi's site, dubbed Endless Challenges by Japanese players, it was the pinnacle for max speed runs. Despite the absence of an archived video, Fly's feat, executed at 100% max speed settings, showcased basic driving with minimal advanced techniques. The setting used is indicated by the S5 next to the machine name. This is how the players in Japan denoted the machine settings at the time. This setting stripped away snaking and flying abilities, yet paradoxically, flying through the air remained pivotal for conquering the challenging serial gaps track. In the months following the release of GX, the prolific F-Zero X player Mumu embarked on a record-setting spree that extended beyond records. It was a legacy of innovation, pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible in the game. Mumu played a huge role in pioneering the max speed techniques still revered in the community today. Mumu chose early on to focus on the max speed category and refrain from the use of side attacks, a choice reflective of Mumu's and many Japanese players' aversion to the mashing-intensive and spammable nature of side attacks, opting for a distinct playstyle focused on precision and skill. Mumu excelled at this type of playstyle and quickly mastered the Fat Shark machine. But on some tracks, he would opt for a number of custom machines that had specific advantages over Fat Shark. Most of his blog posts came with attached videos to better illustrate the discoveries. Unfortunately, some of these videos have been lost to time. For the sake of demonstration, we have made several reenactments of the most crucial discoveries. The reenactment runs are performed by the high-ranking GX player, AKC12. In the wake of F-Zero GX's release, Mumu meticulously chronicled his discoveries on his blog site. In late August 2003, his focus shifted to serial gaps, culminating in a series of thrilling shortcut discoveries on the track. The saga begins with a blog post on August 29 titled Serial Gaps, Big Shortcut Using Landmines, Preliminary Version. Mumu unveiled an astonishing revelation. Successfully hitting mines in the serial gaps tunnel could launch you directly to the jump plates, a discovery that left Mumu in shock. Mumu defied expectation by deliberately colliding into the mines on the way out of the tunnel. This unconventional move wasn't just a mere collision, it strategically harnessed the explosion, resulting in a sudden burst of speed. This phenomenon, aptly named mine boosts, highlighted Mumu's ability to uncover and exploit unique mechanics within the game. Striking the mine's center triggers a shift boost, a complex yet versatile speed technique offering a sudden burst of velocity. The introduction of momentum throttle after shift boosts underscores the potential for preserving high speeds gained from both shift and mine boosts, although MT was likely not utilized in Mumu's record due to its nascent discovery. Mine boosts compound on the risk-reward dynamics inherent in the game. As you might expect, each collision with a mine exacts a heavy toll on the machine's energy reserves, making careful management of this vital resource crucial for success on the track. Despite the presence of 3 refill zones, maintaining high energy levels is a constant challenge on serial gaps. The track's design offers a tiny refiller strip just before the tunnel entrance, which is often overlooked in favor of the tempting dash plate on the other side. The real energy lifeline lies midway through the tunnel, where a much longer refiller awaits, providing the primary opportunity for replenishment. As the race reaches its climax, a medium-sized refiller on the final hill offers a last chance to recharge before reaching the finish line. Mumu exits the tunnel with impressive speed and seamlessly glides directly from the tunnel to the jump plates. It should be noted that this skip remains achievable even without the assistance of mine boosts if the player maintains sufficiently high speed. Mumu expressed determination to master this game-changing strategy, emphasizing its potential for substantial time save. Later that same day, Mumu continued his GX exploration by experimenting with Toby, also known as space flying, on the track. In a subsequent blog post titled "Serial Gaps: Accelerate with Space Flying," he shared insights into the benefits of space flying at the jump plates on serial gaps. Mumu highlighted that even machines with poor air mobility could gain speed and cover more distance through space flying. He goes on to unveil that these shortcuts were applicable even on the first lap, and suggests the potential for similar discoveries on other tracks. In admiration, Mumu credits the original discoverer of space flying, expressing appreciation for the useful technique. The machine used for these daring experiments was the Combat Swallow Z, set to max speed settings. In a thrilling development on August 31st, Mumu shared a groundbreaking post titled "Serial Gaps: Big Shortcut with a 2-step jump." This revelation marked a strategic shift to the Pretty Spear G4 for its superior flying capabilities, allowing Mumu to execute shortcuts without relying on mine boosts. Although the attached video wasn't archived, Mumu vividly described the impressive sequence. Performing a jump from the tunnel to the jump plates, he seamlessly jumped again upon landing, then glided across the gap and reached the ice patch. Mumu deems it to be the most efficient shortcut method. He then emphasized the precision required for machine adjustments during the glide, involving strafing to the side and activating a boost just before reaching the platform. Boost activation in the air slightly lowered the machine, ensuring optimal alignment. The final time was 1 minute 19.0 seconds, marking an improvement of nearly 7 seconds from Fly's early run, but Mumu was far from done. Mumu aspired to achieve a 15-second range by executing the 2-step jump on lap 3, along with eliminating further mistakes. Reflecting on the accomplishment, Mumu drew parallels between this shortcut and one in Mario Circuit 2 for Super Famicom. The post ends by hinting at his next challenge: attempt to stay inside the tunnel pit zone during the final lap. Later the same day, Mumu followed up with an edit to the post, announcing a remarkable improvement in his time to 1 minute 16 seconds by successfully executing the 2-step jump on the 3rd lap. This achievement set the world record for the time, but unfortunately there is no surviving video of that specific run. The absence of a video hinted at Mumu's ongoing dedication to refining his skills on the track. Undeterred and driven, Mumu continued his efforts throughout September, showcasing a relentless pursuit of perfection on the dynamic track. About a month later, on September 28, 2003, Mumu shared a significant update. In a blog post titled "Serial Gaps: 2-Stage Jump and Landing Boost," he proudly revealed his new best time of 1 minute 12 seconds. The blog post delves into the intricacies of the course, highlighting the effectiveness of diving down in the latter half to build speed. This momentum could then be harnessed to fly straight through the top of the building at the end of the lap, offering a small time-saving technique. The reason this works is because only certain background models have solid collision, which means you can phase through a large number of them. The models that do have collisions are typically the parts closest to the track, and were likely decided on by the developers on a case-by-case basis. In this example, you can see that the building is only highlighted in red on the lower section of it. That means the entire top half of the building isn't actually solid. Mumu acknowledges the track's difficulty and the challenge of executing the strategy correctly, but says it's worth it for the potential of substantial time savings with proper mastery. The machine of choice for this feat was still the Pretty Spear G4, configured to max speed settings as usual. The recorded time stood at an impressive 1 minute 12.9 seconds, showcasing Mumu's skill and precision. The accompanying video showcased a first lap completion of 28.0 seconds, leading Mumu to question whether the current first-place record holder on Sugi's site knew about these strategies. Mumu expressed newfound confidence, setting a goal of achieving an impressive 27 seconds on the first lap. The following day, Mumu continued to captivate the GX community with yet another shortcut revelation in a blog post titled "Serial Gaps, New Shortcut on the First Lap." This discovery introduced a clever shortcut that allows you to bypass the floating hairpin turn after the tunnel. Mumu intricately detailed the shortcut, highlighting the need to slide inside the corner before the hairpin, execute a glide while strafing to the inside, then re-enter just before the jump plates. The complexity was amplified when Mumu explained that you must subtly input down on the stick during the flight in order to lift the front of the machine. He then emphasized the importance of maximizing speed leading up to the skip, either from mine boosts or diving down. Executing this skip consistently proves surprisingly challenging, demanding a delicate balance to maintain enough speed to clear the entire gap. The complexity is heightened by the absence of a guard railing on the section of track below, adding an element of risk. While this skip has become obsolete in contemporary gameplay, its successful execution relied on the prowess of lightweight custom machines endowed with superior turning and aerial mobility. Less than a month later, on October 22, 2003, Mumu marked a triumphant return to the track by introducing the Quick Cannon G4, a more optimal custom machine. The Quick Cannon G4 quickly emerged as the best out of the light custom machines due to its best-in-class drifting and good air mobility, proving itself to be a suitable option for max speed settings. While the Quick Cannon's effective MTS made it a popular choice among max speed time attackers, its slippery handling presented a steep learning curve. Mumu would break the world record with a blistering time of 1 minute 4 seconds, a groundbreaking improvement of over 8 seconds from his previous record. Mumu's hard work and shortcut strategies had really paid off, producing a record with faster times on all 3 laps. The first lap was a time of 24.9 seconds, almost 5 whole seconds faster than the previous record's opener. Enter the official Nintendo Internet rankings, where Mumu's record stood unchallenged as the fastest max speed time on the leaderboard. What set his achievement apart was its uniqueness. Unlike other top 10 times utilizing max acceleration settings, Mumu's record stood out by not adhering to this convention. In a forum post accompanying the record upload, Mumu revealed yet another new shortcut discovery. In the blog post titled "Serial Gaps 3 Shortcut Combo," he details a shortcut that allows you to bypass landing on the latter half of the track. At the big drop-off, where players typically dive down to either the upper or lower path, Mumu instead executes a meticulously timed hard right strafe turn and lands near the overarching building. While the shortcut may appear straightforward, its execution is intricately tied to strict checkpoint requirements, introducing a layer of complexity. Mumu cautions against turning too early, as it could lead to the machine's early retirement. Although he may not have known it at the time, a delay to the turn is needed because there is a massive invisible plane wedged vertically in the middle of the track. Making contact with this plane will retire the machine immediately. These death planes were intentionally put in by the developers as an extra precaution against shortcuts. With precise timing, this shortcut narrowly misses the death plane. The key to success lies in a strategic delay of the descent, ensuring the machine aligns precisely over the upper platform and then lands slightly before the building. A mistimed landing, either too far forward or behind, poses the risk of skipping crucial checkpoints and triggering an immediate explosion. Mumu's detailed instructions unveiled a strategic shortcut triple combo, adding depth and complexity to the gameplay on Serial Gaps. The difficulty of this shortcut is underscored, requiring a machine with easy turning capabilities. Mumu's choice of the speedy dragon body for his machine on this course exemplifies his strategic approach to overcome the challenges presented by serial gaps. Mumu adds an intriguing note about the final stretch of the track, specifically the steep hill housing the last energy refiller. He highlights that driving over the peak of the hill at approximately 1350 km/h triggers surface acceleration, potentially saving about 0.4 seconds. This revelation pertains to a shift boost, a tech not fully understood at the time, leading to varied names such as surface acceleration or hidden boosts. To put it simply, shift boosts are sudden bursts of speed that occur when the machine catches air and then immediately re-enters the track. Shift boosts manifest in a variety of scenarios, notably exemplified by the lateral shift, which offers numerous chances to veer off the edge and swiftly return to the track. Conversely, the shift boost at the end of serial gaps presents a more subtle illustration. Mumu discovered that driving over specific track sections at precise speeds could also trigger a shift boost, showcasing the intricacies of the technique. When the footage is slowed down, you can see the exact moment the shift boost occurs. For a single frame, the speed of the machine is roughly doubled. In the following frames, the speed quickly decelerates back down, but some of the speed from the shift boost is still maintained. The mechanics behind shift boosts remained elusive, with players recognizing their occurrence in different situations and their dependence on the machine's speed. Mumu's insights into this aspect add a layer of mystery and strategic depth to the serial gaps timeline. Having established the groundwork for serial gaps, Mumu momentarily steps away to explore other tracks, embarking on a journey of experimentation and breakthroughs that would shape the very essence of max speed play. The community continues to celebrate and build upon Mumu's groundbreaking contributions to the world of GX. As the year 2003 came to a close, Mumu would spark an intense rivalry on Mute City Twist Road with the American player JKT Speed. JKT's brother, Midiman, took this as an opportunity to test his skills in the max speed category, setting a goal of surpassing Mumu's incredible record on serial gaps. A stalwart competitor alongside his brother, Midiman's active presence since the game's release and participation in the official internet rankings attested to their dedication. During this time, Midiman held the #1 spot on the open ladder, where space flying was freely used to push the game to its absolute limits. This knowledge and experience gave him a unique skill set and approach to max speed play. In a New Year's Day triumph, USA player Midiman seized the spotlight on January 1, 2004, snatching the world record from Mumu with a stellar time of 1 minute 2 seconds using the Quick Cannon G4. Although the video of this feat remains elusive, a submitted screenshot to the MFO forums immortalizes Midiman's achievement in the non-snaking ladder, adhering to the stringent 100% settings requirement. Admittedly, Midiman doesn't remember exactly what strategy he used in this run, but we can get an idea of what strategy might have been used by looking at his space-flying world record at the time. The run showcases snaking, also known as strafe turning, in the air at max acceleration settings, allowing Midiman to defy gravity, soaring over the track, and executing precise corner cuts. Strafe turning in the air allows some light machines to gain height at max acceleration settings, leading to the creation of the open ladder. Well, as it turns out, there was also a benefit to doing this even at max speed settings. The machine may not gain nearly as much height at these settings, but with certain light custom machines, it will help maintain your height and give distance to your flight path, and in some cases, it actually will make light custom machines gain height. Marching to the beat of his own strategy, Mumu declared in March 2004 that he would abandon custom machines with E-rank body parts, opting for a more challenging but purist approach. Quick Cannon G4 enables us to use snaking and MTS on the straightaways, so from now on, I don't use any E-body parts. This proclamation, which was shared prominently in a blog post translated to English for better visibility, showcased the advantages of light custom machines due to their ability to exploit snaking and MTS techniques at max speed settings. Attached to the post are several videos showcasing the extensive research that drove Mumu to make this decision. As a small aside, A few of the videos opt for a machine that closely resembles the previously used Quick Cannon, but features a different cockpit. This is the Quickstar G4 variant. While it provides several advantages over Quick Cannon, the two are still highly comparable. The machine uses a slightly superior cockpit called the Maximum Star, which was exclusive to events in Japan, or accessible through a cheating device. Consequently, many players opted for the Combat Cannon cockpit due to its wider availability, thus the name changed between Star and Cannon. The first video showcases snaking with Quickstar at 100% settings. Doing this accelerated the machine to around the 1200 km/h range, and the consistent snaking strides allowed him to maintain this speed throughout the entire lap. Compared to max acceleration settings, the speed gained is relatively minor, but it still provided a significant speed advantage compared to traditional max speed strategies. The second video, MTS on the straightaway, showcases another significant advantage light custom machines had. Mumu once again chooses Quickstar and takes full advantage of the machine's insanely strong strafe to perform big sweeping drifts throughout the lap, allowing for an impressive first lap completion of 18.5 seconds. In the third video, Mumu uses the light custom machine Combat Dragon to strafe turn into the air. The extremely light weight of the machine allowed it to gain height and execute the space flying shortcut, allowing him to complete the lap in an unfathomable 19 seconds. The fourth video shows Mumu on aero dive. After the dive, Mumu strafe turns into the air, allowing him to forego landing on that entire section of track. He notes that this saves about 1 second compared to driving normally. This valuable research clearly showed that restrictions had to be implemented to conserve a traditional max speed playstyle, and prompted Mumu to abandon E-body parts entirely, fearing their dominance could overshadow traditional max speed strategies. Not long after, he would expand this restriction to include D-rank body parts as well. Mumu ends the post by stating, "This is simply a personal choice, and maybe I'll use them again someday to claim another world record." Coming from such a skilled and influential player, this post would eventually spread overseas, where it sparked debate among competitive players, with some considering rule changes based on Mumu's insights. With this new approach in mind, Mumu decided to go back and update all of his records that previously used a light custom machine. In defiance of conventional wisdom, he chose the Fat Shark, renowned for its formidable handling challenges, on a track notorious for its difficulty. Mumu shattered expectations on January 26, 2004, clinching a groundbreaking 3-lap record of 1 minute 1 second, using the Fat Shark. Mumu's mastery of this beastly machine solidified his position as a trailblazer in the GX world, setting the stage for a thrilling evolution in gameplay. This is the first run to incorporate the full shortcut on serial gaps, setting the standard for all future records on the track. The full shortcut entails first performing the previously mentioned jump from the tunnel to the jump plates. The player must do this at a high speed and maintain it across the gap. After floating for a distance, the pilot has to dive back down and land on one of the 3 jump plates. If the player manages to do this while maintaining enough speed, they will once again be propelled into the air to skip the next track segment. From here, the goal is to reach the track segments down below, whether that be the smaller upper path or the spacious bottom path. To ensure the lap counts, players must carefully hit invisible checkpoints, often veering left after the jump plate to do so. Once the required checkpoints are hit, the player can then dive down to the track below, gaining a significant speed advantage. Attempting the big shortcut on serial gaps can be a perilous endeavor, often resulting in an explosive failure upon landing back on the track. The intricacies lie in the game's complex checkpoint system, a crucial mechanism used to ensure players navigate the entirety of the track and prevent exploitable shortcuts. In this video, we follow the in-depth research of Joselle Astrid, a respected community member, and midiman, the former space-flying champion, as they unravel the complexities of the checkpoint system. Despite their exhaustive efforts, some nuances remain elusive even to the most seasoned F-Zero experts. The stage is set to delve into the basics of the checkpoint system, shedding light on its essential functions and its relevance to the formidable serial gaps shortcut. Each lap relies on checkpoints to monitor progress, with serial gaps boasting 170 such markers. There are tracks with under 60 checkpoints, and some with over 500. The checkpoints follow the track, and there are generally more checkpoints on turns compared to straight sections. Understanding how checkpoints work while driving on the track is easy enough. Wherever you are on the track, your checkpoint status is the same as the part of the track you're touching, and it will progress as you traverse the track. Additionally, gaps in the track, like checkpoint 98, require traversing the entire distance to advance checkpoint status. Aerial movement is where things get interesting, and cause the GX checkpoint system to be quite a bit more intricate than typical racing games. Checkpoints are not confined to the track's surface, but extend infinitely in 3 dimensions. This allows you to advance your checkpoint status when you're airborne above, or even to the side of the track. Unlike some other racing games, you aren't required to pass every individual checkpoint. As the player enters the air, their checkpoint status will remain as it was at the point of liftoff until they cross the next sequential checkpoint, or make contact with the track again. Making contact with the top or side of the track will advance the checkpoint status to that of the associated checkpoint, even if some previous checkpoints were skipped. But when skipping checkpoint 99, landing near the end of the ice patches, or any farther, results in an explosion upon re-entry. The game makes this judgment based on a concept called track distance. Track distance measures the length from one location to another on the track. Each course has a specific track distance value that cannot be exceeded when skipping checkpoints with a landing. In the case of serial gaps, the limit is about 1,511 meters. Without crossing checkpoint 99, landing at the split tracks down below results in a skip of over 2,000 meters. By veering to the left immediately after the jump, we can pass through the plane for checkpoint 99. Once that is done, pretty much any flight path will take us past checkpoints 100 through 113. This means the track distance measurement will start much farther ahead and the landing will only skip around 600 meters. You may be asking how Mumu and others discovered these precise checkpoint requirements. Well, the game offers a visual indicator for when checkpoints have been skipped. When the player skips a certain number of checkpoints while traveling through the air, some blinking yellow arrows will appear on screen and point towards the next sequential checkpoint that was skipped. This helps to show which checkpoint the game is waiting for you to cross, as well as giving a warning when you are getting close to skipping too many checkpoints. There is another key mechanic that players must consider when performing the big shortcut. On most tracks in the game, you will be retired instantly if you fall too far below the track you were driving on. The game calculates the track height, minus some amount depending on the track, and it will deem the machine off course if it goes below that point. If the machine loses too much height during the skip, they will be at risk of falling below the limit. The big shortcut on serial gaps adds an exhilarating layer of complexity to the track, turning each attempt into a heart-pounding spectacle of skill and precision. The introduction of the big shortcut saved a little over a second on laps 1 and 2 compared to the previous record. On lap 3, he opted for the previously used two-step jump method, causing the lap to be 3 seconds slower than the previous record. This is likely due to there not being many mines left, making it difficult to reach the required speed to perform the big shortcut. That brings us to the end of this chapter, but the story is far from done. The competition ramps up to a fever pitch in part 2. Coming soon. Special thanks to Tony Tai for his immense contributions to this project. And thanks to everyone in the community that assisted in the making of part 1. These videos are a massive undertaking and your support is appreciated. I hope you will join us next time on F-Zero GX Time Attack History. Thanks for watching.